Hey guys, I'm IzDaisho and I'm here bringing you some Hearthstone, and today I did want to start off the video just by announcing a new series that is going to come to my channel, which basically came up because I was like a little bit disappointed with how the drafts were going. I mean, most of you probably already know how I think of cards in this format, and I mean, just giving my opinion over and over and over again isn't really going to help as many people, and it's probably a little bit less entertaining than it once was. But anyway, to liven things up, I decided that I wanted to have a stipulation arena run, which basically what it means is you're going to give me some sort of restriction. I can only pick a card if it has the highest attack of all the cards that are chosen or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, what I did want to do was have you guys post in the comments what you think would be the coolest stipulation. You can make it really tough for me to win. You can make it just a little tough for me to win. Either way is fine. And I will choose one of them and do it. And if one of them gets a lot of upvotes, then I'll do that. So if you will look at the comment section and see if other people have posted them, hopefully this will be an engaging experience and people won't be like, "Daisho, you're an idiot, I hate you." But anyway, since I decided to make this video, I'm not just gonna stop and not give you any gameplay. So I am gonna play this deck. I don't know how good it still is. I know that this was like a pretty good list couple of weeks ago, but I haven't played any Construct in a while. I'm only ranked 10, so it's not going to be like a Clash of Titans or anything, but you usually still get some good company and some good competition. That's what I was trying to think of. These words, they're hard. You still get some pretty good competition at rank 10, so hopefully it'll be an interesting game or a couple of games or anything like that. But yeah, the original announcement of the new series is over, and now I'm just going to play some constructed Hearthstone. I missed a bunch of days this season, and I wasn't doing too well at the beginning, so I'm definitely not going to make Legend unless I really try, but I just don't think I have it in me. And I find that when this deck draws Fiery War Axe, it is just so much better. Actually, maybe I will keep this. In case he plays like a Young Priestess on turn 1, I want to be able to get rid of it. But I find that this deck just wins so much more against the Warlock aggro deck. Yeah, perfect. Cruel Taskmaster. When I get to draw my Fiery War Axe. So it's just like a direct proportion, pretty much. Like, the more I draw my Fiery War Axe, the more I just beat those decks. But, I mean, that's pretty much the best way that you can deal with a Leper Gnome. I mean, Mortal Coil is pretty similar, but just get a 2/2 on board and just take it out for free. Only take 2 damage. Alright, you got that, and nothing else. So, this is already working out quite well for me. I'll be able to take this guy out. I drew my one of Arathi Weaponsmith, which should be perfectly on time on turn 4. Next turn I can play this Acolyte of Pain, and hopefully use up this Fiery War Axe, and then play this Arathi Weaponsmith. If not this turn, then I can still do it next turn, attack, then play the Weaponsmith. But it looks like, actually, do I want to just trade my 2/2 for that? No. I mean, I have plenty of life to give, so I may as well leave the 2/2 on board. Because I don't know if I'll be able to find another good target for the 3/2 Fiery War Axe. But then again, I might not be able to find a great target for this either. Uther?
Put this apple on your head.
Uther. Okay. So that triggers before this. That's pretty good. And Soulfire to hit that? That's a weird one. Because this... Alright, sure. Works for me. Okay, so again, we have a pretty good play here. We take 2 damage. My opponent's down to 1 card. I've got a full grip. Still at a reasonable life total. I can start armoring up. Got a 3/3 out and a weapon. I mean, obviously, he can still keep drawing, but this is looking like a pretty good game so far. What else you got? Sure. And Soulfire. Okay. That's pretty reasonable, but we're still looking fine here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out. Do one of these. And ship the turn back. I could have just whirlwinded there, probably for the most value that I'm gonna get. especially because I could have played this thing first, taken a damage, gained a life. Yeah, I definitely could have seen that being a reasonable play. Alright. So, right here... Yeah, I just don't need to Whirlwind. I'm going to slam this. It's better than just playing out Karen, I think. Alex Straza, sure. But yeah, we're just going to go with this. And this. And I'll just attack him, since hitting the 2-3 doesn't do me much good. I mean, this game's going pretty well for me. It could be going better, but it also could be going worse. Yeah, that card is one that I was very worried about. Because now I'm pretty far behind. Fiery War Axe. I think I just have to get something on the battlefield here. As opposed to killing this, taking 4 damage off the board. I don't know, that could have been a reasonable play as well. Yeah, I'm not sure what I can draw here. I was really worried about this Doomguard. Okay. I was like, that by itself does not seem very good, but another one makes it pretty good. Am I just dead? No. Oh, sorry. And, Brawl is just an insane draw here. So, first we're gonna kill the most important thing. And play a Brawl and hope that... Okay, so it's the 2-3 that's going to survive. And that's fine. I can still play this, hit here, and just hope my opponent doesn't draw an Argent Commander or a Doomguard off the top this turn. And after this turn I should be stabilized, because I can play this, set my life back up to 15. So that was just like pretty much the best draw I could possibly have. That is not a very good draw for my opponent. Okay, I mean, I guess it's not terrible. But Whirlwind is not going to do anything, because... Actually, maybe I should Whirlwind here. Gets his board clear, and I still can do this. So I think I'm pretty much out of any one card. He's going to have to top deck 2 specific cards. So he's going to have to like draw Doomguard first, or I guess it could be Argent Commander plus Power Overwhelming. He already played both Soulfires. I think that's pretty safe, but does it just make more sense to leave the 2-1 alive? I think so. I think that I can make it live for one more turn and be okay. And then I have him dead on board next turn this way too. I think this play is slightly better. And there's pretty much nothing that I'm worried about right here. Like, he could play a defense... Yeah, okay. I was going to say he could draw a creature to make his guy live, but I'm going to be able to kill both of those. I think I actually just have game here. Oh, no, because my Wild Pyro is going to die. But I could do this... Let's see, okay, so I could Whirlwind, deal 1 damage to everything, then Wild Pyro, and Whirlwind to deal... Yeah, so then this will be still at 1. Okay, I think that's going to be the play. And, I mean, this guy's going to die. But he can't draw. And yeah, this is going to be a tough one to lose here. Because even if he draws like Doomguard to hit this, then I still have Ysera. But I think I'm a real underdog in this matchup. I mean, it was pretty much a perfect draw for me, and I had the right cards at almost every stage of the game, and yet I still was in such bad shape. And I think it's partially designed to beat the Warrior Control deck. Like, not necessarily Warrior Control in particular, but a deck like Warrior Control, those slow, grindy decks that are just trying to provide answers. And I think that it's really easy. It's a lot easier to find the answer, or to present the threats, than to answer them, in Hearthstone especially. And this deck doesn't really have great answers, especially losing Tinkmaster. Tinkmaster was a huge part. I mean, being able to... well, I guess against that deck, it's not really such a big deal. The only thing that you can do is downgrade, like an Argent Commander or a Doomguard. Neither of those are too big of a deal. None of these cards are really what I want to see in the early game. I don't know what my opponent's playing. He's just running a Mage deck, which means that it's not necessarily going to be a particular one, but you always want to mulligan. If you don't know what your opponent's playing, you always want to mulligan for it to be an aggro deck, because if it's a control deck, you're going to draw most of your deck anyway, and it doesn't really matter as much what your starting hand is. There's a good chance that my opponent's playing a mid-rangey deck, and he's going to have like Chillwind Yetis, and this deck's not particularly strong against Chillwind Yeti. If I get early shield blocks and I can shield slam their creatures, then that just becomes insane. But if like he puts pressure on me at the beginning and then is then curving out into Chillwind Yeti, then that's really scary. Harvest Golem is fine here. Can actually deal with it fairly well. I think this is a little bit better than just playing the Acolyte of Pain. Maybe not. I mean, I'll get to play the Acolyte of Pain anyway. This way I just get to remove his creature immediately and still have my Fiery War Axe on board. It's a little bit less mana efficient though. Arcane Missiles. Sure. I mean, it's a little bit of a weird play. So the end result was his Arcane Missiles took out the rest of my Armor Smith. Nothing else really happened. But the good part about playing this deck against a mid-range or a control deck is, like, once we get to turns 7, 8, and 9, and I'm dropping Ragnaros and Grommash and Ysera, my opponent is not a happy person. So right here, I don't really think that Cruel Taskmaster is going to get that much value, so I'm just going to cash it in for a card and a couple of damage towards my opponent. And I'm not going to do it again because, well, I really could, but I may as well armor up every turn I can. Sorry, I missed the... May as well armor up every turn I can, because it's just life that I'm going to gain. I'm going to play all my cards at some point, but you just gain more life this way. And now I have a pretty easy way to deal with the Water Elemental. Actually, a number of ways I can handle it. But I think the best way is to just do that. Well, maybe I just hit with... I have a bunch of ways to deal with this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit there. Okay, so now I can slam it and then Cruel Taskmaster it. I don't really want to commit anything else to the board right now. You could just hit here and then Cruel Taskmaster it. That's not really committing anything else to the board. Could Whirlwind. But if I was going to Whirlwind, I should have done that first. Okay, I think the play should have just been Whirlwind, draw a card, then hit. That definitely would have been the right decision. You know what? I'm just going to hit with my face. I don't care about being frozen. But that definitely was not the optimal play that turn. I'm still in a decent spot. I mean, we have about the same amount of cards, but I've got a couple on board. He can't play Flame Strike this turn. He already used the coin. But he can definitely play like a Fireball or a Polymorph on this thing. But it just did present him with a threat that he actually has to defeat. Fireball my face? What? This man is insane. I can't comprehend how that was a good play, but just going to ignore it. Again, I'm not going to add anything to the board because there's a very good chance that my opponent just has Flame Strike, but I'm alright if he does, to be honest. I'll just drop a Ragnaros on an empty board. With Execute, it becomes a lot more of a reasonable situation for me. There's not that much that my opponent could do, but exactly what I had suspected, and take him down. I love Ragnaros' new entrance since the game officially released. They added a bunch of those kind of things, and that's one of the awesome ones. Alright, so Polymorph is a good way to deal with that. Water Elemental's just going to get shield slammed. Actually, yeah, I can just kill him with this and a Whirlwind. I mean, may as well. Whee! Angry Gromish is angry. Alright, so that was, I mean, that was more of a display of how awesome this deck can be. I mean, when you are playing against another mid-range or control deck, it can sometimes just completely take over the game. And if they don't put pressure on you early, then you're really not going to have much trouble. It's one of the bigger trumps in terms of like how good the deck is against other stuff. So like the Warlock Handlock deck, this one is also really good at trumping other control decks because you just play a ton of 8/8s, and sometimes it's really hard to beat that many 8/8s, and then they get to rebuy their life total, and you can't pressure their life total early, so they can just draw a bunch of extra cards. I don't know, there's a lot of... Hearthstone's a cool game. It's pretty interactive. It's not really as deep as Magic the Gathering, especially, I mean, after playing in competitive tournaments and stuff, there's just so many different angles to look at the game, and with bigger card pools and more complex interactions, the game gets far more complex. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is to thank you for watching the video. This is going to be it for today, and I also encourage you to post a comment asking what kind of stipulation you want on my next arena run, and if you would vote or like up like, down like, side like. No, upvote or downvote comments that you do like and ideas that you do like for stipulation. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.